From the station with the most local news in our West Michigan, Fox 17 News at 4 starts right now.
Well, first at this hour, the Holland restaurant owner who was arrested after allegedly failing to comply with local health orders was back in court this afternoon. Fox 17's Michael Martin watched that hearing, which just wrapped up just about a half an hour ago. He is now live with what happened, Michael.
Yeah, hey Doug, good afternoon. You're right, it hasn't been long since that hearing wrapped up. It happened over Zoom. Several items that Marlena's attorney, Robert Baker, wanted to address in court today, but before anything's considered in terms of throwing out charges, an accurate transcript of Marlena's initial arraignment that happened about a month ago needs to be established. Now, her legal team filed 2 motions back on April 9th, first asking for the court to address what Baker says was an inaccurate transcript sent to them by Ingham County court reporter Leslie Fox. And secondly, they filed a motion asking the courts to dismiss the contempt charge brought against Marlena in the first place. Now, Baker asked Judge Wanda Stokes Tuesday if audio or video recordings of the hearing were made by the court. She said no, that their transcripts are made by referencing shorthand notes taken by the court reporter during the hearing. Judge Stokes expressed her confidence in Fox's accuracy, but decided to give Marlena's team another 10 days to make a comprehensive list of any meaningful errors in the transcript before they proceed with that other motion to have the contempt charge dismissed.
We need an accurate transcript for potential appeal, and also to actually properly hear the second motion that we have, which is for relief from the judgment, for the judgment of contempt.
Well, then maybe this is just premature then, because I'm not going to sit here and deal with generalities. We're talking about a court reporter who's very experienced, and what I was told is that there were probably 3 errors, and now you're talking about 40 some changes, and I want to know what they are and if they're substantive or not. We don't need to waste our time going through a comma missing.
Yeah, but speaking to attorney Robert Baker just about 45 minutes ago, he says those errors are not, in fact, just commas missing, but substantiative errors in the transcript, not accurate, and he wants to make sure that they have a chance to bring all of those errors in a full list format in front of the judge, which will happen in about 2 weeks from now. For now, live in Grand Rapids, Michael Martin, Fox 17 News.
All right, thank you for that, Michael. And a live look out over downtown Grand Rapids this afternoon shows temps nearing 80 across our area today, but that taste of summer is not going to last forever, although we will enjoy it while we have it. Meteorologist Laura Velasquez joins us in the Weather Center. Tell us how long we've got, Laura.
Yeah, we have the rest of this afternoon, Doug, for those warmer temperatures in place, but even tomorrow, it's not like it's going to be cold. I did want to talk about the thunderstorm risk because for us, I think it arrives after midnight and actually a little bit closer to daybreak tomorrow morning, but we are in the marginal risk area for severe weather, and what this really means is there's a very small chance there could be an isolated storm or 2 that produces some gusty winds or perhaps a little bit of small hail. But really, our storm chances don't really look to move in here until around or after about 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right now, we are dry across the region. Even as we expand the view out, there has been this band of showers and thunderstorms that's been near and north of Green Bay and now pushing towards, say, Petoskey and Traverse City along with Mackinac Island. But those are going to stay well to our north as we go through the rest of this afternoon. So we've had some filtered sunshine in and around the area. Some spots have had a little more sun than others. You can see here near and south of Interstate 94. We're 80 in Battle Creek, 80 in Jackson, 81 in Coldwater. Kalamazoo is 82. Meanwhile, we're down to 75 here in Grand Rapids and 77 in Holland. So this is what it looks like for the rest of tonight. Temperatures holding in the 70s here. I don't expect we're going to see a real quick drop in the temperature department, especially with any limited precipitation here. There is that chance for storms to occur very late. Again, I think after about 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. Coming up, we will talk in greater detail about that and also what that means for our rain and storm chances the rest of the week.
The bottom line is clear. If you're vaccinated, you can do more things more safely, both outdoors as well as indoors. So for those who haven't gotten their vaccination yet, especially if you're younger, or think you don't need it, this is another great reason to go get vaccinated. Now.
That was President Biden speaking this afternoon from the White House after the CDC released new guidelines changing things for fully vaccinated Americans. Some updates for us today. Some of those changes and updates include fully vaccinated people being able to take their masks off at small outdoor gatherings. Masks are still recommended for indoor public spaces like movie theaters. Full vaccination, keep in mind, means that it's been 2 weeks since your second dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine, or 2 weeks since getting that single dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine that was just put back out there this week. The CDC releasing a graphic that outlines the changes announced today. You're seeing part of it there on your screen right now. For the full list of updates and to see that infographic in full for yourself, we have it posted on our website, fox17online.com. And with all that in mind, a West Michigan professor is telling us why this aspect of the pandemic is changing. But she was also very quick to tell our Lauren Coomer that this isn't the finish line. Not just yet, Lauren.
Yeah, Doug, Dr. Bensley says it's a step in the right direction as mask mandates for outdoors loosen for fully vaccinated adults, proving that the vaccine is in fact working.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. I think it's great that they're releasing new mask mandates. I think people have done a lot over the last year, 13 months to really try to mitigate or contain COVID.
It's been well over 365 days since our new normal has involved mask mandates and social distancing. On Tuesday, the Biden administration giving Americans some type of hope by loosening some of those outdoor mask mandates for fully vaccinated individuals.
So we're starting with outside in terms of reducing the mask restriction for those who are vaccinated because you're outdoors. And the breezes and the air and everything else that's out there dissipates any COVID.
Dr. Robert Bensley, a Western Michigan University professor, saying the loosening of restrictions has become possible thanks to COVID-19 vaccines. The latest statistics showing over 50% of the U.S. population has received at least one dose.
And you can only imagine the more vaccines, the more people are vaccinated, the greater likelihood that we're going to get back to a place where we're not spreading COVID and hopefully be able to move some of those mandates or reduce those mandates that are indoor as well.
But Dr. Bensley says we aren't there yet. And while restrictions are loosening, he hopes people don't start to think that the pandemic is fully over.
The intent is to try to get people going back to some sort of normalcy, but ensuring that the vaccine is part of this whole process.
Dr. Bensley says reaching herd immunity includes vaccinating those kids 16 and under once it's approved for emergency use. Kids below the age of 16 make up about a quarter of the U.S. population. Bensley says once we're there, we'll hopefully start to see some of those indoor restrictions loosen as well. Reporting live in Kalamazoo, Lauren Coomer, Fox 17 News.
All right, thank you for that, Lauren. The state today reporting 3,676 new cases. The total number of people who have had the disease in Michigan is now well over 829,000. Our positivity rate continuing to trend downwards. That's some good news today. It sits at 11.5%. We're still far above that 3% threshold that health officials would like to see it at, but those metrics, again, moving in the right direction. 105 new deaths to report today. 48 of those do come from a vital records review, but that brings the total number of Michiganders who have lost their lives to the virus to just under 17,500. And when it comes to where we stand on vaccinations in Michigan, just shy of 50% of people in our state have gotten their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. That's about 4 million people. About 2.9 million Michiganders are fully vaccinated. That's about 36% of the residents in our state. And day one of walk-in vaccines at DeVos Place is going quite smoothly, we're told, but it's not drawing a particularly big crowd. Julie Dunmeyer is live outside the convention center, and you've been watching all day, Julie. What can you tell us?
It's been a slow, steady stream all day today, Doug. I did speak to Spectrum Health just a few hours ago, and they tell me that they are capable of doing more walk-in vaccinations if more people do show up. They've got more shots than arms, they tell me. But there's one woman who was here today that everyone should meet.
I think it's great.
The chance to get a shot.
I was scared, but I feel like there was nothing to be scared of.
No appointment needed. Laura Drews is here waiting.
To get my first shot.
She's been up since 6:30.
I got here at 9 o'clock.
2 hours early.
And I said, I better get up early because I thought there'd be lots of people waiting to get into this clinic for free.
Laura doesn't have a computer or cell phone. She was having a hard time making an appointment, and she gets her news the old-fashioned way, by tuning in when it comes on.
With Spectrum Health launching walk-in clinics both tomorrow and Wednesday.
I was watching Fox 17 News last night.
Walk-in is exactly what Laura needed.
I love this. They could have this every day. People wouldn't have to worry about making an appointment.
Reminding all of us here at Fox 17 what it's about.
Oh, I'm so happy too. I cried. I cried when I knew I could get my shot.
Laura's laugh, far better than even those tears of joy.
Whoever is out there who is scared, please come. It's so easy.
The clinic will be open again here at Devossa Place tomorrow from 11 to 4 if you know anybody who hasn't gotten the chance to go in and get the vaccine just yet. Reporting live in Grand Rapids, Julie Dunmeyer, Fox 17 News.
And we just hope everybody is that excited about it. Thank you, Julie. Still ahead, the state's COVID task force on racial disparities got started a year ago to the day. We are sitting down with Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist today on the progress that he is saying has come with Michigan's minority population.
And while it has been a warm day, we haven't quite been to that 85, which was the record high for today's date, set back in 1990, but of course well above our average high of 63. Coming up, we'll take a more in-depth look at what that temperature trend looks like as we head through the rest of this week and into the weekend.